down now for the count you down. Ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
Happy Wednesday, people. Welcome to the Kris and Gina Relationship Show.
Happy hump day.
I'm going to be Kris today.
I think I'll be Gina.
She's going to be Gina today.
Yeah.
Great show today. We do have a guest that's about to join us in a second. But before we do, I always like to let Gina know what today is.
And I'm so excited. What is it?
It's Wednesday. You got to spice up Wednesday. It is National, even though I'm still 4 days away from completing my 21-day health cleanse. It is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. It's National.
This is a lovely day.
It's National, and I did this just for today, No Beard Day.
No beard day?
National.
It's National Bootylicious Day.
You see how she is? See what I deal with you? See what I deal with? This is serious. National Speak Up for Victims of Sexual Abuse Day.
Okay.
And it's
You had to get dark on us.
World Menopause Day. But none of our guests
What?
are experiencing any
World
of that.
Menopause Day. The whole world goes into menopause today. So in case you were wondering if you're in menopause, today you are.
Right.
That's right.
But you didn't come here to see that. Today we have dumb things men and women do when dating.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of those.
We're going to show a video. But first, I'd like to bring in our guest for today, Miss Kenya. Can we, super producer Brian, can we bring Kenya onto... There she is!
She's muted, I
Well,
think.
she's... Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
You're
muted.
She got to unmute her.
Kenya, if you can hear us, you have
There
to
we go.
unmute yourself.
There she goes. Hi,
Hello.
Kenya.
Hi.
It looks all nice and nice in the back. You probably had a party going on. Yeah, the music. No, I'm just joking. How are you today?
Wonderful. How are you?
We're wonderful. I want to thank you for joining the show. Kenya, you are, for everybody here, I mean, we know, but you're single?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up.
Are you dating? Have you dated in the last 5 years?
7. Yes.
Are you married?
No.
On this show,
That's usually an easy question.
if you're not married, you're single. So,
I'll take that.
all right. So, we're going to dig all into your business, your friends' business, and just business. And we're going to
Mama's business.
This is going to be a conversation today. Usually, people, we got some sort of heavy debate, women, men. This is not today's show.
Nah.
We're just talking about dumb things men and women do. Yours truly, admittedly, may have done something that wasn't
Something a little stupid.
unsmart on a date, and we'll get into it.
Not
But
you.
we're I know, right? I'm so
We've all
sorry.
done dumb stuff dating. I mean, like, we had to grow somehow.
Let's.
It's an evolution, people.
It's how I became a player. No, let's
Okay.
let's first talk about men.
Okay.
We talk about women. We're gonna talk about men. We're gonna go right into it. Before we do, let's watch a short video of a guy giving a tip on something. Admittedly, I think most men have done. So let's watch the clip. It's about 20 seconds.
Roll.
Roll it, Ron.
Let's just say you're on a first date and you feel yourself talking just too much. Here's what you're gonna do. Hopefully you took her out for drinks. Is that right? I think it's your turn to say something. Trust me, it works like a charm. On a date, you should keep things fun and playful. So if you look at a girl and go, yeah, you're not talking enough, you just killed the entire vibe of the date and you probably won't see her ever again. By just taking a drink, putting it down, and smiling, she's gonna ask you, why? Like, what's going on? Just say, I think it's your turn to say something. That's it. 9 times out of 10, they usually say something stupid. Okay, fine. What's your favorite color?
This dude.
But try that when you're out on a date, you feel yourself talking too much and you want her to engage more.
All right, wait a minute. Let's bring Kenya back first.
Let's bring us all back.
Let's bring us all back. Okay, so wait a minute. Before we speak, rules of engagement. Let's judge things on a 1. It wasn't that stupid. 5, really stupid. Now, what do you all think? We'll let Kenya go first. About what I do think men talk too much on a date. I think that is a flaw. right? Do we? No? Is that
Some men do.
Kenya, what
A lot
do
of
you
men
think?
do.
I think dude was really corny.
Me too.
Number one.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that.
But people that drink naturally tend to ramble. So I mean, if you don't want to talk a lot on a date, you might want to get like a ginger beer or something.
Ginger beer.
Well, I think he meant, have you been on a date where men were talking too much?
They always talk to me.
That's where I was going. Because Kenya, like you, dates some successful men. And sometimes these men,
I didn't always date successful men.
well, I'm just saying, they talk a lot about themselves, right?
Yeah, but they all talk a lot about
They talk a lot.
My husband talked a lot about himself
He's
when
a
I met him.
successful man.
Well, at the time, I was like, okay.
Does your husband talk like in the third person, like I'm Chris Levy? Does he do things like that?
We would not be married today
Well,
if he had talked about himself in the third person. Because
Who
that's one
does
of my
that?
pet peeves.
who would do
I'm
that?
not-
Not Gina. Gina would never do that. You ain't talking to Gina. I mean, like that kind? Yeah. No.
Me, her, she, I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I cannot confirm nor deny
That's a way not to get laid.
that I've ever done that.
I'm just saying.
I cannot confirm nor deny. And,
If you would like to talk yourselves out of ass, that
And
would be
and I have been laid before.
at least.
At least
How many
Well,
kids
you're
you got?
married, I hope.
At least 3 times.
I have been laid before.
At least 3
So-
times.
So, men talking too much. 1 to 5. How dumb is that on a date, Kenya?
I kind of like when they talk too much.
It
'Cause
takes-
they end up oversharing, and then I know in the door if I want to be bothered or not.
oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think about it.
but I tend to let them talk because then you got the awkward silence, and then you're pressured to speak, and I don't want to share shit on the first date.
So
Hey,
that's
can
a
you come?
that's a low level.
Hell yeah,
This
we
is
can
this
curse.
is an adult show. Hell to the yeah.
I'd rather hear all his business, his baby mamas, his exes, ex-wife,
Oh yeah.
children. I want him to ramble and tell everything.
So you give him a. So you don't think that's a big problem for you?
No.
All right. So it's only a 1
Wait,
or 2.
so where's 1? Where's 5?
One is not a big problem. It's not
okay.
too dumb.
1 is okay. 5 is that's some bullshit.
That's dumb.
Okay.
What,
Okay,
what about you, Genevieve?
That's fine. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna split it.
Yeah,
in the
not
middle.
a 3.
Here's why. Because to Kenya's point, it is nice when they ramble a little bit because then you get to hear that stream of consciousness and you get to kind of learn things about them.
Right.
And then you can make an informed decision if you just sit back and listen. The reason why I think it's kind of dumb is because they're not asking you any questions or getting to know you. And part of the question there becomes, do you not care about anything that I have to say, who I am,
Exactly.
what I think, nothing? So that's the off-putting part of it.
Right. And
And you get to gauge the level of narcissism.
Girl.
Like,
Yes.
I agree.
Early.
Agreed.
Fair point.
I also think I agree with Kenya. I thought he was goofy in his delivery.
Yeah.
I think men oversharing is a 5 in terms of goofy things to do. I think it's a real bad thing. To your point, usually a person feels valued if you're asking about them.
Yeah.
And so,
But that's if you're on the other side of the table.
well,
Like,
just,
do you have a problem with women oversharing?
we're not on. We're talking about men.
We are on the man tip right now.
I'm,
so
all,
we'll
I'm
get to
normally
the women.
I'm normally doing the opposite, aren't I?
You are.
We are bashing men right now. We're men bashing.
He wants to
Speaking.
save the good bashing for
No.
later on the show.
Relax.
Admittedly, and this is an area, I think men do a lot of goofy things because
Still on here.
remember we ask them to go out. We're trying to impress usually, so usually we do a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Just because we ask, we're trying to impress you. So that is a common mistake. I think men talking too much, but I definitely think it's a bad one because you aren't.
Because you're not learning anything.
Exactly.
If you're talking, you're not listening.
And you're not letting her shine. And if I'm
Right.
smart and I'm trying to get some, which is what we do, before we know if you're Mrs. Wife or not, we trying to get some eventually. You got to let them shine.
Yeah, well, you
Player
know what?
one-on-one,
I'm
player
not-
one-on-one.
I-
Yeah,
But
retired player.
okay, we can go on to the next thing because realistically, I don't necessarily mind learning a whole lot of stuff. I have ruled people out on dates before.
Well, I have a first date checklist.
Oh,
Well, we'll get. hold the checklist.
Okay, hold on to the checklist for a second.
I love a guest who comes prepared and got some additive
Chris
stuff.
loves a list because Chris always
I like
says that.
anybody with
I
a
like
list.
lists.
Thank you. Before that, what other things have you seen that were just goofball shit on dates?
Trying to act like you have a lot of money. Like, does this outfit make me look like I got too much money? That kind of thing. You know, like, I didn't mean to bring out the Gucci belt today, but you know, that type of stuff. Like, I don't know.
Let's stick on that one because you obviously have seen the list. You just looked at number 7 of dumb things to do. And you can look at the list. You can share the list.
Oh, well,
She's
thank
on that one.
She's on that one.
And I put asterisks by the one I thought really dumb.
I have one. That's a good one,
What,
though.
what do you think? Have you had that happen?
People, well, yeah, I've had guys kind of inflate their worth, let's just say.
Financial wealth.
And but you can tell because then they'll complain about
Ooh,
the-
both of y'all
the
been looking
things-
at the list.
the things that you do
No,
and
we
how
live
expensive they are. Oh, well, you're gonna drink 3 martinis, huh? It's like, no, brother, you got on the Gucci belt and you know what I mean? So you should be okay
Exactly.
with my overconsumption of martinis or
So-
whatever it is.
So now we're on 2 of these because you
Okay.
just looked at
I didn't.
too
Look at- I
emotionally
can't even read your handwriting.
investing in two. I'm sorry, spending, complaining about the money spent.
Yeah,
That's it.
complaining about the money spent. I had a guy. This is the dumbest thing. I've told you this story before. This will be for the audience's
share
pleasure.
it again.
So he asked me out for drinks. We just met. That's fine. And I chose a restaurant. Well, we chose a restaurant, but the one we ended up going to was a little more upscale, a little more expensive, a little more romantic and it was just going to be drinks. And I didn't think anything of it because that's kind of where I like to go. But he thought he read a lot into it. And so before I could even get my left butt cheek into the booth, he was like, okay, I'll tell you what. How about this? How about I get the first round and you get the next round?
See, that's on my list.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, well, this isn't a date then. Because you've asked me out
Yep.
and you are so busy worried about who's paying for these $12 drinks or whatever it is that we're having that you have basically thrown away any other options. Because I was like, all right, cool. So I stayed for exactly 2 drinks so that I could get one, I could pay for one, he could pay for the other, and then I wouldn't hang out with my male friends who treated me much better than
Wow.
that guy.
But see, that's on my list. So,
Wow. Have you ever
first
had?
date,
Have you ever had that happen?
I always offer to pay for the drinks, dinner on the first date. Now, a real man,
Would say
a
no.
man, no, not a real man, a man that I would want.
There you go. Okay, we'll say
Okay,
no.
go ahead on, qualify.
A man that I would want would not let me pay.
Right.
So if he's like, yeah, well, you can pay for half of it, and you know he's counting out dollars, I know I'm never gonna see this guy again because I'm never gonna call him again. I'm never gonna answer a text. None of that is stuff.
Folks, normally, I'll disagree, but these ladies hit it on the head. I agree with those. So, what do you all put that on your seriousness? That's got to be closer to a 5, right? No.
Oh, that's
Oh,
5.
That's a 5.
That's a
deal
5
breaker.
because we'll never go out again.
Never go out again.
Yeah.
If you let me pay, we're never going out again.
Yeah.
I agree that
But
that
to
is.
Jeannie's point, I met a guy when we were working on your campaign, Levy, that commented about my purse. And he was like, "Is that real?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's real."
Is it real?
Yeah, he's like, "You know how much those bags cost?" I'm like, "I do." I was like, "Do you have one?" He's like, no. He said, "But I wouldn't spend that much money on a purse." I'm like, "Well, I'm not for you."
Right.
You know? He's
Yeah.
like, "That's a ridiculous amount of money for a purse." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't buy it."
Well, not only that, but like, look, you just get out my shit, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
You worry about like what you're bringing to the table. If I have the purse, either I bought the purse or somebody else bought me the purse, right?
Either way, it was in the price range of me or my circle.
Of what I like.
Out of your range.
Exactly.
I agree wholeheartedly with you both. Fellas, if you're doing this, it is a major flaw. It is indeed a 5 on dumb things to do. Nothing drives up a pair of panties than a dude worried about some money on a date.
I mean,
You can see the reaction.
It is so
You can see the
awkward.
reaction to Gina B and Kenya. They have both been like, "Yo, you've never said." Yeah, I'm more old school with that. You know, I know all this modern. We have a lot of these modern daters on here, Kenya, that women do this, men. I'm old school. But this is how it should be.
I believe in gender roles, like
Yeah.
1,000%. If I have to open my own door, I'm probably not going to see it again.
All right, so we agree that now I'm going to run a few by you guys. Let me know, has this ever happened and where you rate it? Now, the first one, I've heard of this. I haven't done it. A man touching a woman without her touching him first, I think, is dumb as fuck.
Touching where? Like the hand?
Like caressing you, like
Caressing?
well, you know,
On the first date?
what's
Don't grab me, bro.
you've never heard of that?
Caressing on the first date. Like apropos of nothing. Like I'm sitting here and all of a sudden you like,
Well,
okay,
might-
how does it go?
He might have thought the date was going nice, and maybe you all, I don't know, we're going to another place, and maybe he put his arm around you, and you're like, well, wait a minute, we just first date. I think I've seen men be too presumptuous, but I always say if the woman does it, she's got to
lean into that.
she's got to lean into it first,
Well,
almost.
The best thing that I can, if you must try to figure this out as a man, the best thing I've seen is if you are walking into a restaurant, the woman is slightly in front of you, and you put her, you're guiding her. So you could put your hand on the small of her back,
Right.
And then if she tenses up or reacts to that, it's a very benign activity. Then you know that you don't need to go further with it. But if it's kind of, but it's a nice guide. It's not like she's not on her ass. You know what I mean? Like it's a good guide. But don't
grab my hand and tell me you got a brass quarter bed and an Italian.
I
Maybe
think
Gino Saskaga
I think it's I think that's goofball shit. Or I've seen men, or I've had women tell me that they try to kiss them on the first date. Now, if the woman is feeling you, she will kiss you. You know, but
yeah.
it just doesn't work.
You know the worst conversation I had on the first date?
Shout out to
This
Tracy
guy-
Bay.
Yeah.
Wait.
I asked him-
Go ahead, finish, Kenya. Sorry
I
about
asked
that.
him why
Rita.
him and his ex broke up, and he was telling me because his male endowment was just so big.
Oh, stop, sir.
Kenya
Yes.
has my list. She
Stop,
has my
sir.
list of stuff.
Stop, sir.
You good?
It's
You-
so ridiculous.
Oh no, let's not. It's so
He's my
ridiculous.
friend on Facebook too, by the way. I hope he's not.
That's horrible. Like,
That was-
okay, here's the flip side of that is if you're a guy and you're talking about, if you go in and start talking about how good you are at oral sex,
Are you looking at my list?
receiving. I mean,
We
give
have
it,
not
give
looked
it.
at your list, Chris.
And
Y'all gotta be
you know what
looking at
that
my list.
also means to me? I always give that a value judgment.
He's a lesbian.
Look at this.
He's a lesbian.
Real quick, ladies, I want to shout out a few people who chimed in. Ron, can you had Tracy Bay.
Tracy Bay, yes. that is
Tracy
some
Bay,
good
what's
shit.
happening?
Hi, girl.
Exactly. And I think she's referring to the man touching.
Yes, I think that's what
I
she's
think
referring to.
a man doing anything physical without knowing 100% that she started that. It's almost like being at a high end, so I've heard, strip club. You cannot touch the ladies. The ladies got to touch you.
But it's okay to offer a hand. Like if you're going from
Oh,
the
yeah,
club to the
absolutely.
door,
If you're helping
you
over,
got some
Into a car,
stilettos.
up some stairs,
Yeah.
off, down.
That's okay.
for her
Absolutely.
comfort, not for your creepiness.
Exactly.
Right.
And then Louis Green, we're gonna get to women in a minute.
Yeah, Louis.
So just
Wait,
Louis,
Louis,
Louis, we are bashing men.
Yeah, Louis Green's like, what about a woman asking you for money in week 2?
Where you find these women?
That's look. He and I have had conversations.
The
Uh,
unemployment.
Like, who's asking, baby, Big Daddy, can I have $300 until
You
next
got
week?
$40. You got $40.
Right.
all right, let's do a few of them. I want to ask you all about a few. What about being late? Big thing on the first date?
Terrible thing.
I mean, it happens though.
I mean, okay, so let's talk about
You
lateness.
can't be prettier than me that you need longer than me to get dressed.
Damn, the one time you figure he should have just known.
Well,
I got
Okay.
hair and makeup. You got a brush.
See,
That's not a deal breaker though, is it?
well, it depends. Okay, so.
No.
Well, it depends. So, if he is an hour late without a phone call, then deal breaker.
An hour?
Absolutely.
An hour. Okay.
I'm not
But
even picking up after an hour.
but if he's picking you up at 6 and at 5:40 he calls you and he says, "Look, I'm running about 5 or 10 minutes late. I'm in traffic. I'll be there. I just don't want you to be, you know what I mean, worried." Then that is
I think that's cool. I think that's
I think
okay.
that's cool. That's
I can
fine.
deal with that.
I
Because
think that's okay.
he has proactively looked out for your comfort. He is
Right.
communicating with you. These are all good signs.
And he could be a surgeon. Who the fuck knows? He could be in, Saving a
I
life. Who
hope
knows?
he deserves it.
Well, okay, let's calm down.
I'm just saying. He could be. I'm trying to get a brother in the
I
Chiefs.
gotta attach his heart right quick. I'll be there in
Exactly.
about 25, 30 minutes.
Bragging
I got
about
cleaning on him, baby.
bragging about bedroom skills is one.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sending inappropriate pics.
Oh,
Somebody is
gosh.
one.
I roasted a guy for doing that to me. I was
That-
like, I need my glasses.
You savage.
Tracy
Ooh,
Bay.
you savage.
Tracy Bay says he's not picking me up on the first nor second date. No, he doesn't need to be picking you up. If you're meeting somewhere, though, he should call you well in advance to let you know that he's going to be 5 to 10 minutes late.
You should be waiting at the bar.
You shouldn't be
No.
waiting. I don't really want dude at my house either on the first or second date, like just
Agreed.
in case that shit goes
Safety.
crazy.
There's a lot of crazy
Yeah.
dudes out here.
Right.
And everybody who looks not crazy. That don't mean they're not.
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of deceptively crazy people out there.
No lies told.
Really.
Trying too hard to impress.
Right.
I think.
Oh,
I
that's a
think.
bad one.
I think if the guy is really feeling you, I think that exponentially goes up because they're like, but they do too much.
Well, I
And
know
like
guys.
why the cash is a red flag too.
What was that?
But why the cash? Like why do you have so much?
Yeah.
Well, I know someone who
That worked when I was 12.
he has a
Is
lot
he
of
a
money.
barber?
You just said it worked when I was 12.
Well,
Like, let me
pull
me
out-
fold
let me pull out these four fives.
Let me put these
Pull out the
five.
money clip.
I have a Mexican bankroll and a 110 on top. Like,
right, you
let
got
me pull this money out.
paper and
Sucking the coat into a Gucci belt.
Right.
It worked back then.
A lot of things work back then. No, I have a friend who does very well financially, and he always ends up with like sack chasers, and one of the reasons is because he chums
Sack?
chasers.
Money
Wait, what is
chaser.
Yeah.
Sack chase. Gina B has all types of Gina-isms. She'll call somebody a chubby chaser or
I know
Chuckle-
the chubby.
or chuckle.
Chubby chaser,
Or, what was the other one?
Chuckle fucker.
Chuckle fucker. Somebody's funny. A girl who likes somebody real funny. Everybody a chuckle fucker. That's a Gina-ism.
I like that one.
I didn't make that one up, but okay. So, but this he gets a lot of money. I said sack chasing, but money chasing. But here's the deal, though. If you chum the waters with your money, then you have to. This is what you're attracting, right?
Right.
So,
That's what they do, and then say she wants $40 to do better.
well, right. If you're like, oh, girl, I got thousands. I mean, like, you just can't. You can't do
Speaking
that.
of money-
As soon as she say my light's about to get cut off, then she'll go there.
Exactly.
Speaking of money, Louis Green.
I don't
his
know
first-
how-
his
I don't
first
know
comment-
where he meets these women.
His first comment. He says, "What about a woman asking for money in week 2?"
Yeah, so yeah, we saw that. And then he said he had a woman ask to see his member on the first day. I wonder,
Wow.
where are you finding?
We
Right,
are
like
not-
Louis-
hold on.
voices in women.
We are not bashing women for another 3 minutes. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
We are talking about men, Louis. But I'm at the first one. That's about a woman asking about money. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
We'll
we're gonna get
those
to
are
all
actually-
these
That's
things.
actually a good one.
Yeah.
I got a couple more. These businessmen you go out with, do they pull out their phones? I know men have an issue with women doing that. I'm just wondering, on the flip side, do women see men, out on a date doing this?
Yes. Oh my God. Especially if you're
Checking his
dating in the
fantasy
younger
basketball team.
the younger sector of dude cannot put the phone down.
I don't think a phone should even be on the table on a date.
No. Or here's the now once
I
again.
don't either.
If you are expecting a call, like if it's your mama or if it's something very important, like I've had guys, but I've had guys say, okay, we may get interrupted one time. That's my mother calling to tell me blah blah blah.
That's legal.
and that's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But as long as I believe in communication, and I don't believe in like sitting there the whole time you're at dinner, like I mean, what are you here for? So that makes me feel like you can't be present.
Your baby mama on my date. And
Oh no
put your-
no,
up
she
in
doesn't.
school.
She doesn't enter my date.
What about a guy staring at inappropriate places? Does that happen?
Oh, staring at other women while you're on the date?
No, you might
Like
have on.
staring at your breasts?
No. Yeah, exactly. You got on something.
Oh,
low
you're
cut.
talking about he's like,
oh damn, what size is that bra? Or something like that. I mean,
what size is that bra?
Then I think he's thirsty and he hadn't been laid in a long time.
yeah.
That puts
Yeah.
him at a number 3.
Yeah, I
But not-
mean, yeah, he's
it's-
staring at your boobs.
The only reason I asked that, I know a guy. I don't know how the date went, but he went out with a very curvy woman. He said he asked her that.
Can I stare at your tits?
No, he asked her measurements, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, did you like this woman? He's like, yeah, man, she was all of that, and I'm like, you probably fucked up, right? I just.
Well, he didn't marry her probably, otherwise you know that.
He's not with her,
No.
absolutely. So yes, it did not
But
work
if she had
out.
curves like that, she had options.
She did have, I'm not saying he was a bad option, but it was a bad thing to do.
Well, that's a bad option to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It made him weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make him weak.
Agreed.
Okay, let's wrap up the men so then we can get on the women. We're at the half-hour mark.
Wait, and one more thing for the men.
Yes, what else you got?
I don't want to pick the restaurant.
You
Oh, oh my God, that's such a big one.
Wait, what is it?
She doesn't want to pick the restaurant.
I don't want to pick the restaurant on the first day.
No.
I want to
Oh, yeah.
know where he likes to eat.
Yeah.
Good
If he
segue.
takes me to a wing joint, it's a wrap.
Great segue.
Did you see the one where the woman wouldn't get out of the car at the what was it, the Cheesecake Factory?
That's what we're about to play. So wait a minute. Hold on. Let's play a video real quick.
Not the Cheesecake Factory.
Right, everybody. Let's play a short video. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I blew it.
You did. That's okay.
My bad, bro.
Everybody hadn't seen it.
Want to play now?
Play it.
Play it. Kick it.
Play it.
If you can't find something you like at Cheesecake Factory, you are the problem. There is nothing wrong with going to Cheesecake Factory on a first date. In fact, I feel like it's low-key thoughtful because when you're still getting to know someone, you don't know what they love to eat yet. And Cheesecake has like 10,000 items on the menu. See, the whole point of going on a date with someone is getting to know them better. Therefore, the food is secondary. So for those of you who are going on dates just for the food,
Just so broke of you. You're so broke for that.
because we all know when you're really interested in someone, the food doesn't matter. If you can't find something you like at Cheesecake Factory,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But are you really interested in someone on the first date? You don't know.
So wait a minute. That whole, as a man, I wouldn't want to go out with her again. I don't care what she looked like. I mean,
Because she wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory?
No,
it was
because
her,
she didn't want to go to the Cheesecake
It was her
Factory.
whole demanding ass Steve.
Like, oh, I ain't getting out of the car. You ain't taking me to the Cheesecake Factory on the
I'm
first
like,
date.
I got options. She just, number one,
I mean,
if I'm going to, again, if any guys disagree, let me know. But I'm sort of old school. I like paying up front initially for most things. Even though I asked you to go out and you said yes, I should be able to choose the place.
right.
But we want you to take the lead.
I don't expect you to weigh in with your displeasure on a place that I picked specifically because you'd have a nice time. And then you sort of shit on me by doing that. So I don't like that.
I like a guy. First date, you asked me out. I remember years ago, I went on a first date with this guy, and I actually let him pick me up. He picks me up. I get in the car, and he's like, "So what do you want to do?" I'm sorry, sir. You asked me out and picked me up.
We're
What do you
talking
mean?
about women right now.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we haven't
No, we
flipped
can
over.
just switch to women, did we?
See how we do?
Did we
See how,
switch?
y'all see how this works?
Well,
We weren't
okay.
done with you.
Let me just
We
finish.
played the
this.
tape. Gina B actually sat here, people,
Well,
and said we have about
we
2
had
more
such
minutes.
we
Wait.
had such a.
And we stopped because a few times before the switch, because we were talking about men, and I even said, "Is we men bad? We not talking about women right now. We're talking about women right now."
Okay, well, this is something I did.
Okay, Gina B, go ahead.
It
Get
is.
out.
It's something I
Get
did.
it out. Fine. Talk about the men. Go ahead.
And so, no. I mean, he didn't know where we wanted to go, so I was like, all right, fine. So then I ended up choosing a place where I could watch the All-Star Slam Dunk competition.
That's hilarious.
And didn't. I was like, it was All-Star Slam Dunk night. I was like, okay, well, if you let me pick the place, then I'll pick something that I want to do, and I don't care what you're doing over there.
And then it's like the notorious question: women never know what they want to eat.
Right.
You know,
Well, I don't
say
know what
women
you
don't
wanna
know what they eat. I need a man to take charge and tell me where he likes to eat.
Right.
And
You
so,
know, and if I
okay.
don't like it, I don't like it, but I'll go and check it out and see.
Why not?
No, I
how
really don't see
legit
women
it
do a
is,
lot
how
of.
maintenance.
I think women typically are more precise and exact on. I don't see women do a lot of dumb stuff.
On first dates?
Not a lot, because they're really being entertained. But the few that I have seen, I don't like. I've had a person put on makeup, like
At
while
the table?
At the table. I know that's minor. I just didn't like it. I felt a certain
How
type.
ugly was she?
I don't know. It's makeup sorcery. Who knows what's under
Makeup
there?
sorcery. She was wearing spackle on her face. I have no idea.
Right.
I went on a blind.
Like restaurants I would go to with my girlfriends, I don't want to go to on a date.
I had a woman lie on a blind
Fair
date.
point. A lie on a blind date?
I was trying to be real with
Wait, how
myself.
you go on a blind date, Levy?
I was trying to be real with myself. I felt I was too superficial.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not
Have
going
you
to tell
changed?
you what social media platform we met on. It's way a long time ago. It dates me.
Black people meet.
It was Black something, right? So
Black Planet.
something like I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, and I tell the bartender, "Hey, the woman says she looks like Foxy Brown, and she likes tequila." So
Pre-makeup.
I said, if I order, we joked on the phone that we're gonna have a shot of tequila when we meet because we both like tequila. I said, but if she looks nothing like I think, because I'm thinking she's sort of baby dark brown, maybe some slanted eyes, petite. I said, but if she doesn't look like that, I'm getting a double shot. Her big ass walked in that
me
bar
have a
like,
triple.
Kris. I was like, oh my God, I hugged it. And I was like, bartender, I hugged like, we need a double. So, I mean, I just thought she lied. She just lied to me. There was no reason to lie. So anyway, lying was the thing.
Like,
Well,
well,
maybe that was her truth.
oh, look, that's probably she probably
That was her truth.
She probably
Foxy
submitted a
Brown-
picture at
Fox-
at an interesting angle.
Foxy Brown was still thin back then.
Well, you
She
know what?
lied.
But somebody might have told her you look like Foxy Brown, and she ran with it.
See, but women.
It got her a date.
Well, but it didn't get her a second date.
No.
Well, women, you know, we will do that. We will take pictures with all kinds of makeup on and angles that make us look thinner, that, you know, and then be mad when someone looks at them like, and you might be.
Taking a picture
Like,
that in
who
here.
are you?
And I'm not even one of these dudes against the filter, right? If you still look like you.
Well,
But I've seen, and you've seen those videos where the person makes themselves up and they speed the
like
camera
they crawled up from
and I'm like, how
behind
the fuck did she
Yeah.
do
They
that?
live under a bridge and then they got makeup on. Next thing you know, they're supermodels.
I'm like, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating.
Mischaracterization of yourself.
Right.
Guilty.
It's like
belong-
sending a representative until you're in person.
Until you wake up next to her and then you realize that she's one of the original cast members of The Hobbit.
Do you all have
But you
friends?
know what? It's also you have to beware of men with hats on social media. You can get hatfish too.
Oh, that's,
What
yeah,
is this?
catfishing is real.
What is
Weird
this?
fish.
Hatfishing.
Stop it. What are y'all talking about?
Well, you take the hat off and there's nothing underneath there.
So they look
Haters.
good with the cap on.
Haters.
They take the hat off and it's no hair.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Is that
I've
a
been
thing?
hatfish before. I've been hatfish before.
I gotta write that down. I never heard of that.
Catfishing?
Hatfish is some real shit.
That's some real shit.
I've
That
been
shit
out-
is real. Out in these streets.
You just got Regina B just got into this marriage game. So I've been out.
Congratulations, Dana. by the way.
I've been
Thank
out
you.
the streets.
Thank you very
I've
much.
been out of here too long. Hatfish. I didn't know what catfish was for a minute.
Hatfish is a woman thing.
I think it's a mistake if a woman wears whole clothes.
Well, yeah, because how are you... I don't believe in wearing super revealing shit on
My
your
whole
feet.
mindset used to
Mistake.
change, and I was a fairly decent dude. But my
Like you wear revealing stuff with your man.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
already going.
Right.
you wear some whole clothes and
Y'all
me on the
already
first date.
boning, and he done already hit. Y'all can wear whatever y'all want to wear.
Exactly.
Right.
What Dave Chappelle
And then
say?
you see if he's insecure or not.
What did Dave Chappelle say? Was she had on the whole uniform?
Yeah, whole uniform. Right.
You,
Right. I mean, really.
But that's
You
yeah.
can't wear the whole uniform and be...
I see women pull out phones more than men though. If I'm like the wife and I go out, we always try to. If we see somebody that looks like they're early on in the relationship, that becomes our conversation.
Like, what are they doing?
I'm like, he's winning over there. She's like, clearly he's not winning. I'm like, he's winning. He's winning.
Well, like, he's born
I'm rooting on him. But then you'll see we'll look for like 5 minutes and the girl hadn't smiled one time on the
She's
first
like-
date. I'm like this, yeah, he's losing. He's not getting none. It's
Especially if
not
he keeps talking about himself. It's like,
Yeah,
stop.
or if it's too quiet. I feel like on a first date, you actually have more to say. than-
Yeah, save the quiet thing for when you're in a relationship for a long time like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want
We're
to
so-
talk.
we're
Like,
so
like when
in our
you've been
head.
dating for a long time, you can sit and eat and not say shit to each other.
Exactly.
exactly.
And you're
And be
perfectly comfortable
right, and be
doing
cool
that.
with it.
Like, I can go out to dinner right now with Lee and we don't have to say anything.
Right,
Like the
right.
whole time. And it's like, you good, honey? Oh, I'm good. We're just
Right,
in
you
our
gonna
own
eat
heads.
that? You gonna eat that? Let me grab that.
Have you ever pulled out a phone, Kenya, on a date?
During campaign season, I have, but it's not something I wouldn't pull it out for my kids. My kids can wait. They
Okay.
wait till I go to the bathroom.
Right.
It's nothing urgent. Nothing's gonna burn down.
I will finish a
Um,
game of Candy Crush if my kids call.
Candy Crush.
I was like, hey.
You are so old. My 90-year-old mother plays Candy Crush.
I'm like, is that even still a thing?
I'm so tired of y'all calling me. Oh, I am feeling old, though.
You a little geriatric.
We'll reverse
I am.
that. So
I look good though, but I'm old as shit on the inside.
play Wordle or something. Don't play Candy Crush. Yeah, but okay. So women. So the other thing that I think women do, and this is a longer term effect, where women are sometimes afraid to be forthcoming about the kind of relationship they're looking for.
I don't think they should do that on the first date.
Well, if you get into it on the first date. So,
okay,
but a lot of women will volunteer.
I
A lot of
submit to
women
that.
will shoot themselves in the foot and volunteer because they don't want to admit they're looking for a relationship. So a
got
lot
it.
of women will say, well, I'm just looking for something casual.
Very true. And then he would.
And then they change the rules of the game in the middle and wonder why, why you treat me like a hoe. Well, you told me that you only wanted something casual in the very beginning of this, and I believed you.
Let me
But
think
you know,
about
like
that.
early in a relationship, I kind of just want to hang out to see if I even like you. Do you have a sense of humor? Can you make me laugh? Can you take the lead and pick a decent restaurant? Can you be on time? Can you be punctual? Can you match my fly when you come and pick me up? Don't wear sweats if I got on a suit. So it's like little things like that. So a relationship conversation is nowhere in the cards for me.
It shouldn't be.
Kenya, we got to have you on the show, and we have one of these other types of guests because that is, I agree 1,000%.
Keep
with
it
that.
light.
Yeah.
What do I always say? Be a
Be a
kitten, not a cat.
Right. I mean, you don't want to go into it. I'm looking for a husband. That's some desperate shit. That's not gonna work out.
Right.
You need to see if you even like this person. If I crack a joke and he don't laugh, I think he's slow. I'm like, did you not get it? No.
Well, you know what? If anyone even seems slow, they gotta go.
Yeah.
Really?
Like if they sounded out words on the menu, that's a no.
See, I learned something. What if he's really nice looking? He still got to go?
Well, he's
No.
well, okay.
That's the difference
If he's
between men and women.
Really nice looking.
Aged.
If he's really nice looking, then he becomes a midnight to 7 a.m.
Okay, I would say men, that's it, because that's how men think. Men are like, yeah, she's dumb as a box of rocks, but just look at the ass on her.
See,
But
your
see,
dumb
you gotta
ass can't
think
be
of
out
it
with
in
me.
terms of age. So
Right.
when you're younger, you're looking in terms of, well, we have cute babies together. Like he's got nice hair.
Yeah,
he's
but
got
you'll
nice-
have dumb babies.
Right, but I mean, when you get older, you're not looking at them like that. You don't give a damn what they look like. Can they entertain me? You know,
Right.
is this somebody I can hang around?
Agreed.
So looks aren't like high on my
No,
list
no.
at this age.
It's a nice to have.
In
I
my
mean-
20s, I like pretty boys with big dicks.
Yeah.
What she say?
Pretty boys with big. When you say with big
Who
dicks?
bring their own.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who bring their own. No, I'm just playing.
Yes.
I said it was not a family show. It is allowed.
We have a person who has chimed in.
Karen Allen chimed in. Let's see what Karen Allen. Karen Allen said. She mentioned Karen Allen says that detox diet should have you feeling by 22 next week. Admittedly, Karen Allen, it does. I've had no coffee, no salt, no sugar, no nothing, and I feel awesome. I'll be drunk next week's show though.
He'll be drunk as hell.
You be drunk off of one.
He'll be right. That's going to be the best part.
Can't wait.
Yeah, your metabolism.
Ron Rilla, our producer, chimed in. Can you pull up your own comment?
Yeah. since he being so vocal, he don't like when women question him about past relationships on the first date.
Absolutely. Well, no, it's a big thing. It's a big thing because, again, similar to what we just said, a man especially, we never want to get into any heavy conversation on the first date.
So how many baby mamas do you have exactly?
Well, I will ask how many children he has.
That's a fair question.
And the ages, because if they have like young children, that's fresh trauma.
That's a fresh baby. You don't
Yeah,
want
that's
anybody
fresh.
with a
Yeah.
fresh baby.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
buy
true.
the fresh trauma.
You got a
I
free
think
one?
kids are like,
Hell no.
He's like, yeah, I got to get back to them real quick.
I gotta
Yeah.
stop and get Pampers on the way back. Like, he's like, no.
Nope.
Oh man, but
We like them teenaged.
you all have friends who date. I mean, you all are more easygoing, but I hear a lot of complaints about women being too abrasive on dates.
In what way?
Just always
Example.
Just I don't know, combative.
Combative?
Because they go into these relationship questions, and if they don't like what they hear, then the date sort of changes from being a decent date to not so
To
decent.
like down the toilet.
Yeah.
Well, my
Okay.
take on that is a lot of them have like too high standards. They want things that they don't deserve.
Whoa. Why you say whoa? I don't hear women saying that too. Why do you say they don't deserve it?
like unrealistic standards. He's got to make a certain amount of money. He's got to look a certain way. He's got to drive a certain car. He's got to be a certain height. And then they don't bring equal things to the table. And then they want to go back and forth about it. Like, what makes you deserve somebody in a Rolls Royce as opposed to a Toyota?
Like Louis Green. Okay, Louis Green's comment is,
oh, yeah, there you go. We'll bring those up.
Don't ask me what my 5-year plan is if you don't have one.
I agree with that.
Boom.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Get him, Louis.
But, it can be off-putting. And although, it's funny, I had a friend who, he didn't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12-year plan. Like, he was like, I don't know. And he was so put off by that question because it just really, it made him feel a certain type of way. So when that woman asked him that question, it was...
Was he offended?
He was very offended. Like,
Don't
very
worry about
offended.
my plan.
And as a friend, I was like, well, do you have one? I was like, I have no dog in this fight, right? But
that's too much on the first date.
It's a lot on the first date.
On the first date, Kenya said it. You just, do I like you?
Right.
Do I like hanging with you? Are you fun to me? Do I like... Part of... It's a whole different show, but I think because of the apps, the dating apps, I see more women picking men.
Yeah.
And if she's chasing, it never works out to me like that. I think it's not dumb. I just think it's a mistake because, as I keep saying, men are very simple creatures. We will sleep with everybody. If we have to pursue you, then you sort of know that, okay, he's checking me out, this and that. But if you tap a man on the shoulder, hey, you want to be with me? Okay, I ain't doing shit.
Why not?
Exactly. So I'm a believer that the man should pursue, and I just
I've never picked a man in my life.
Yeah, but a lot of people do on social media, and it's their choice.
I believe in positioning oneself.
Maybe I should have picked him.
Well,
if you pick, how do you know? Because most men are going to say yes to you. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, in my mind, I'm only attracted to people that are attracted to me. So if you're not paying me any attention, what the hell am I with you?
Well, that is the smart thing to do.
Right.
But that's too... Common sense ain't too common. But
that
is.
I think it's... If you aren't attracting, like if you kind of just took a look around and visually, or if you know people who you think, okay, well, that's the kind of guy I'd like to date, then if he's not attracted to you, then I think it's healthy for you to think...
He's stupid.
Okay, no, that wasn't where I was going. But that's one way of looking at it, Kenya. No, but I think it's kind of healthy of you to think, well, what kind of women is he like? Like, is there something that I'm putting out there that is precluding me from attracting the kind of man that I want?
I tell people they should rate if you're a man, how good your mama look in her prime. And that's about what you gonna pull. And if you're a woman, how your daddy look in his prime. Don't be out here trying to find nobody finding your daddy because it was good enough for you. That's how I look at it.
Sometimes two unattractive people can make a very cute child.
It happens.
I always tell men, don't flirt with me because you're going to fall in love, and I'm not.
I'm not about that life.
Wow.
Yeah. I make them work hard. They work way harder. I like that.
You do.
She's like, I like that.
And that is...
Chase me, got that.
And that's a mistake. I mean, what you said is smart. That's the right thing to do. But a mistake women make is being too available and accessible. Especially, let's say you really into the dude on the first date. Don't act like it. We are creatures that need to chase something.
Also, here's the other thing. Like, as far as, not moving too fast. A lot of women want to move too fast on the first date. Like, they're jumping in to see what they can do. Like, for him.
Say it again?
A lot of women move too fast on first dates when you should be sitting back and listening. Like, there's a lot of dudes
trying to help them pay a car notice.
Like a lot of oh well, I could do that for you. Like a lot of women, they're not attuned to men who could be on the take. Because when you hear stories,
they're trying to buy you or buy stuff or pay for stuff.
Well, they'll just do things for you. Like they'll jump in and
sugar mamas out here now.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugar mama, but there's a lot of guys who solicit the sugar mama.
Well, those are losers. Usually
yeah, but I'm saying there's losers out here to date.
They got to be. They're losers everywhere to date. men, women. And,
but they're predatory. And so
But
my
they're-
point is, you have to kind of lay back in the cut for a minute and
you
see
got to
what you're
say
dealing
yes
with.
to those losers. Don't say yes to the losers. They are here. You are right.
Right, but you've got to lay back in the cut and see what you're dealing with, right? Like, so everything he says isn't really true all the time. Like, you've got to figure that out. Like, you can't take everything at face value.
Oh yeah, especially for men. Absolutely.
With
not.
dudes, it's like,
Can you highlight Karen Allen's last point? I would like to hear you ladies' opinion on this. I will read it. Gina B, you answer first, then Kenya. Karen Allen says, I don't have a problem letting a man know I'm interested, but he must pursue. Gray area to me. What do you think?
well, that's basically like, I'm going to unlock the door, and now you've got to open it and walk through it.
Do you think there's a danger in unlocking the door, or no?
No.
Okay.
You know why? Because I think there's so many men who don't take a hint. Some women aren't good at giving hints, and
that's-
some men aren't good at taking them.
Right, because my next question is what is letting him know you're interested? Like, what does that entail? Like, what do you do to let
Maybe
him
that's
know
the bigger question.
Throwing your
Kenya.
tits in
How
his
far
face.
do you
Kenya.
go?
Because-
Because for me, it's a text back. If I text you back, then you got
I'm saying you're out somewhere. And again, I don't know, Karen, if you're still listening, give us a little more detail. Because if we're out somewhere at a social
You mean
function-
like at a bar or something?
Yeah, if
and
we're out in person, I'm old school. If we're out and I'll make eye contact with somebody or vice versa, you know, if I don't go over, she shouldn't come over to me. That's how I feel.
I'm not going over to no man in no bar.
That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
definitely
No,
not.
don't
But,
blame no.
but
No.
I'm saying, if you're in a bar,
Because if you do come over to me, single me, and you feeling me, even if I'm not feeling you, I'm like, yeah, it's hittable though.
you're getting sex in the
That's a
parking
little
lot.
thirsty. That's thirsty.
That's thirsty.
Absolutely. That's
However,
how I look at it.
there are subtle and classy ways to do it. So if you're
Oh,
at a
yeah.
bar,
You drop your napkin in the right way is what you're saying. I like it.
well, I'm not
What
dropping
is this at? 1920s?
I'm like dropping a napkin.
It's a figure.
Handkerchief.
Y'all gonna stop making old jokes. Go ahead.
That. All you have to do is like if you see a guy at a bar, and you know how I know this works is I do this by accident. Now next thing you know, I've got some dude talking to me, and I'm like, I did not mean to do that. Where you just kind of look at a guy, you're ordering a drink, you look down the bar, you see him, make eye contact, smile, and then just sort of linger for 2 seconds, and then get back to what you're
But
doing.
it should be on him then, right?
Then it's on him.
Oh, so if he doesn't come over, do you let
Then
him
no.
know?
Yeah. Well, no. If he doesn't come over, then I'm like, okay, well, he wasn't interested.
Okay.
But I did make the eye contact. I did smile. And if it's so funny though.
Oh, Karen Allen.
Karen's okay. She'll make extended eye contact, smile.
Yeah, read it for the folks who don't.
Okay. She says, I'll make extended eye contact, smile or speak first if we're standing next to one another. I'm not asking him out or for his number. This is exactly what I'm talking
I
about.
don't think you should speak first.
No, you don't. Well,
If you're standing next to a dude
well,
and you smiled at him,
you give him the
it's on
nod.
him.
You can be like,
I just wouldn't speak to
Well,
him.
I had a guy send me a drink at a bar. So he's on one side, I'm on the other side. I'm with my girl, and he sends me a drink, just me. So we were laughing about it. I took the drink. And then I had the bartender send him and his friend a drink. So maybe
Dang.
45 minutes, he came over there. He said, you like that? That was some player shit, huh? I said, you like that? That was some owner shit. You know, I was like, it's players and it's owners. You know, you got to figure out where you fit in.
okay.
Kenya's a savage.
Kenya's like, that's
She's
what I'm
savage.
talking about. Yeah, I don't, people send drinks, they do all kinds of stuff, but you just, as a woman, I don't believe in going over. I will
I'm not
never
even-
go over to a guy.
Make
Ever.
no mistake. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I wouldn't do it.
Let me just say this. I'm going to do the bare minimum.
And that's I think that's what all women should do.
Maybe less than the bare
Because
minimum.
if you do the bare minimum and he's still doing all this, at least you know, okay, this dude really wants to go out with me based
If
on
he
whatever.
types a paragraph, I'm gonna type K. I'm not going. No.
Hell no.
You make it.
The
But
minute.
that is a way
Uh-uh.
that is a way to fish a man. I give one pro tip to you single ladies out there.
Okay.
And it's along the lines of what Kenya said. Men, like women, like some women like getting things from men. It's a good thing if it's genuine and blah blah blah.
Like Chanel bags.
A man doing something for you. Doesn't have. It's just little stuff. Hey, it's men like if they like you, they want to be important and needed for you. You got your tires low, mention it. if you see him, I'm gonna come. I'll come fill it up because that's what a man will do.
Right.
We are hardwired to want to help you,
Exactly.
but we're not hardwired to do anything if you do shit for us. Fellas, I'm sorry about that. I had to let them know. That's my duty on the show.
I think
Well,
that's
my
helpful.
last living boyfriend, we were together a while, and I made more money than him. And it got to a point where I just turned to him one day, and I'm like, make me need you for something. Make me need you for something. Like a light bulb, or oil change, like do something,
Step it
nigga.
up, motherfucker.
Be in it anytime. Like, make me need you. I mean, there's other things you can do outside of money. There's a lot of shit that men do that I don't want to do. I'm not shoveling snow. I'm not cleaning the house. I'm not taking out garbage.
Let us do all of that.
And unfortunately, I found myself in a place where I have. You know what? My husband has never.
We are not taking personal shots. He is not on trial here.
No, but seriously, like in the beginning of the
Look at the
relationship,
ring. He can do whatever he wants to do.
No, we can't. In the beginning of the relationship, I wasn't doing anything, and he was like, "Oh, let me."
Well, he got you now.
Blah blah blah. I know. So this is, ladies. This is what I'm telling
But she
you.
made him work.
Everything before this is for you.
We have we got
everything after is for him.
We got a show coming up. We got a show coming up. Ken, you may have to come back next week.
You definitely have to come back.
Because next week's show is, you want to tell them? It's spicy.
It's going to be a fun one.
Go ahead. You tell them. Tell everyone.
Is your significant other too vanilla in bed for you?
Oh.
Exactly.
How do you spice
if
that?
If you're a man or a woman, you're sort of seeing somebody maybe, or maybe you've seen, this can be a past story, but it's somebody, what did you say earlier? Somebody's got a little more kink.
Someone's got a little more kink than the other.
And how do you,
How do you equalize
I mean, if I
kink?
put the handstand and he's confused, we probably not gonna make it.
Yeah, you think about coming back
He's
next week. But look,
right, I'm the yoga master. Like, come on, you got to keep.
Save some of that.
Okay, Kenya. We'll
we do
talk
want you to
about
come
this
back
next week.
We're gonna have more. We got a few.
This will be
people
fun.
On. We have a few people on next week.
We're gonna have a fun one next week.
Next week's gonna be
good
good.
guests.
But we do have some folks in the studio. Kenya, thank you. We've been working with your people, trying to get you on the show forever. You all don't know we finally booked Kenya to be on the show.
We love it.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll have you back next week. We hope you enjoyed it. And thank you all for listening. Again, next week we talking about sex. It's gonna be nasty, X-rated.
You'll see our preview.
Does your mama watch this show, Lee?
Our church friends sometimes chime in. It's like
they might have a point.
Yo, son, I'm like,
your son.
Please, don't judge me on my alter ego. Gina B made me do it. She's always comes up.
I'm
with
the devil. It's me. It's all.
I know they like Bobby. Your son a freak nasty.
She's like, baby, I know.
It's on his daddy. You know, Matthew was a mother in the day.
Put that apple juice up. Hey, look, Kenya, thanks for joining the show. We'll see you next week. And everybody else, we'll see you, Gina B. Appreciate you as always. Ron Rilla, thanks
Bye,
a lot.
Kenya, thank you.
See you all next week.